What is happening, fam? What is happening? How's everybody doing? My name is Dunk, and today I'm going to show you some ways that I am making passive income with DeFi, crypto. So today I wanted to go over a couple different ways that you could be making passive income with DeFi. And obviously, the first one would be to make sure that you are subscribed to this channel and that you hit the bell so you get notified every time. And just give it a smash that like button. It does really help tell the algorithm. But there's a whole bunch of different ways that there's that you can be making consistent passive income through multiple streams in DeFi, and that's the reason why I really like DeFi. It's easy to get into all of these opportunities, and there's when I say that there's a lot that are just passive. And that hold on, let me also make sure that it's going out on X. When I say that there's a lot that are passive, that you're able to trickle in a whole bunch over time that are relatively stable. I'm serious. Like I think that the thing that gets people in DeFi is that they get greedy. They get greedy and they get impatient. Well, the opportunities in DeFi and crypto and blockchain for yielding, they're just like so many more than there were. Okay, it says I'm live. So many more opportunities than there were before. So let me make sure. I don't hear any audio. It's because I'm muted. There you go. It's working. Good. I was just making sure that I'm just using my earbud today. I don't have a microphone with me. So do. All right. So what I let me just pop this up. This is Trading View, and I just wanted to look at a couple different of the main three charts that I like to look at. I'm big bullish on Solana. Big bullish on Solana. You know, it's it's the blockchain token for the Solana blockchain. And there was a big dump the other day. Look right here. That's actually more recent than the other day. This is the 1 minute chart. But yeah, there was a big dump the other day here. There was a big where I can zoom out. Big dumps. There was a big dump. Why is it not letting me zoom? That's weird. I don't know. May I have to refresh. There you go. That was weird. Let's do it again. I don't know. But my point is that there's these dips and there's opportunities to make money in these dips and trade. But like we don't want to, not everybody wants to be sitting in front of a computer all the time doing this stuff. It's not very passive. But there are more passive ways. Yeah, you could be sitting here, you could be like, oh, look, it's gonna do it, and then you sell and then you buy back in. It's great. You could do the same thing with Bitcoin as well. Look, there's very similar, like you could look at the different charts. They have very similar dips. That dip happened with Solana and it happened with Bitcoin at the same time because Bitcoin is the big daddy, right? It's the big daddy. Um, and every day when Bitcoin dumps, a lot of the other blockchains and tokens dump too. Like if you look at ETH, had very similar patterns. So these three I find have a very similar pattern. And like I said, you could your passive income thing could be sitting here in front of a chart, and I mean you could look at these charts, and I like these indicators. I'm using Bollinger Bands and start learning some candles, and you could actually start figuring out when there's going to be reversals and things like that. It's pretty dope. Like here, right here, it hit the top Bollinger Band, and then there was the red candle that, and if I can go here, and the red candle that went beyond the bottom of the green candle was a bearish signal, and you could have bought right, sold or did a short or something here, sold here, and then once it dips down here, you buy back in. It's the same thing. You could do the same thing with Bitcoin. Look, same pattern. It hit here, and then there was even more sell-off than with the ETH, and it was bigger candle, red candle than this one, so it was sending bearish signals, so on, so blah blah blah, and then eventually it reverses. Um, and this is the Bollinger Bands are just showing the range of the trading volume. So again, I'm not going to go too deep into all of that, but I just wanted to show you, like, this is one opportunity. That's one thing that you could do. But let me go over to my tab. There's one thing else, like I think that it's very important to, there you go, to stay in like up to date on what's going on in this industry or like in this space. Go to here into this in this space. I think it's very important. Very important to stay up to date on what's going on in the space, because I think that a lot of people they go they're just like getting all their information from social media or the buzz, and then they if it's not like in their feed, then they're not going to actually be paying attention to it. So I want to show you a really easy way for you to kind of like get up to date information about this. So what I use is I use Stacker GPT. It's completely free. I guess I could probably post it up on here. Let me create a new one. Just make sure I'm going to post it up on my X. So anybody that has it, let's turn this into a new chat. I'm going to go to X over here. I'm going to give a new X tab, and I'm just going to say, do you have Stacker Agent GPT yet? It's free. There you go. So if anybody needs it, I just did a fresh post up on X. You can go grab this so you could follow along. It is a very useful tool. And also, if there's anything that I'm ever talking about, that I'm talking about, I email it out on my email list, and I give some resources there. So if you want to grab that, you can grab that over at defiearner.com. I just I give you my 7-day simple steps to turn crypto into passive income checklist right in there, and I just anytime that I have good information, I share it out there. So you can grab it there, but go ahead and grab that over there, and then to that point, let me just grab this. I'm going to do one fresh. Ooh, did I? There it is. So all what I asked it was give me today's top crypto, DeFi, and blockchain news. I like using Stacker Agent versus just regular ChatGPT because it's a little bit more in tune with the blockchain and what we're talking about. I'm sure there's other custom GPTs that do similar stuff. Sorry, I had to drink some coffee, otherwise I'd fall asleep. I know there's a couple custom GPTs that do this similar stuff, but this just makes it so easy because before I'd have to use things like Feedly or whatever to try and find the current events that are going on in the day. But I just want to know the top headlines in DeFi. So I just oop, that didn't mean to do that. There you go. That still look right. Yeah, very good. Um, so I can grab this and paste it into Stacker Agent. Again, you don't have to use the Stacker Agent to do this. I just find that I get a better result when I do. So why would we not want to have the best possible result? So I'm just paste that in again. You word it differently if you want. Give me today's top crypto, DeFi, and blockchain news. And this is going to get me up on my current events, my DeFi current events. It's always kind of funny where it with AI, sometimes it grabs different articles and things like highlights, formats it a little differently. There you go. So it grabs some of the same ones. It formatted a little differently. Format. And this is like, I can't emphasize how much AI helps when you're actually creating in DeFi or like earning in DeFi. It is the shortcut, the cheat code to do so many things. I'm going to show you some other ways that you could do this in just a second, but oh, well, like you can just format it how you want. There you go. Action market. So Headlines. That's the word I'm missing. Mm. You get different articles that were going to come up. Like what I came up with when I put it in here earlier. This is right before I went live. These are a couple things that you might want to go over. These are actually really interesting articles. Um, I was reading some of them earlier. Hmm, here you go. So this first one talks about how PayPal's partner, where is that article? There we go. Nope, this one right here. Um, so Paxos accidentally minted 300 trillion PayPal USD, uh, which is really crazy. That's a very large amount of money. So they minted them by accident without actually doing it, and they burned them right away. And I think that would definitely, because the thing about the blockchain is it always shows everything's transparent. So hi, can you automate the process? Also, can you confirm which DeFi platform you are using? Well, right now I'm using ChatGPT, but I could 100%, you could automate a lot of the process. Um, and I'll show you a couple different ways that I do it. But if you're talking about like automating trading, there is a couple different tools that you could use. One is an early private beta that I'm testing right now. I could actually show you that in a second. Let me finish this article and I'll jump over to that real quick. Um, but uh, but there are tools that will help you automate. And again, I'm saying like AI is a huge factor in making that possible. So absolutely, there are time to focus. There's 100% ways to automate these processes, and that's the reason why I don't want to trade my time all the time for money. I want it automated as much as possible. Personally, I'd happily accept less of a yield if I can automate it and not have to be involved. I'd rather that than sitting in front of a computer all day and watching charts. Personally, so again, so we're going through these. So that's really big. The Paxos accidentally minted 300 trillion. That's huge. Market slides up. October fizzles. Um, so there was a huge crash the other day. Um, you know, people could people could speculate about exactly what caused it, but it was very much likely the announcement in the U.S. by Trump to add like 100% tariff to China that caused a whole bunch of upheaval in the stock market and all the crypto markets. And again, remember, I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just letting you know. But it caused a whole bunch of upheaval. So there's been a lot of volume and fluctuations in prices over the last week. But that's what people believe and that caused it. So there's big dips. Solana was down, and like um, Bitcoin was down. Everything was down. And the way I look at that, and again, I always like to point this out, is like um, this is a good example. I would ooh, dot so why do I dot so not IO. Like this chart right here, whenever I see these all red, I don't see red as a bad thing. I see red as a fire sale. So all of these, like the other day when everything was 25-30% down, I just saw it as like, oof, everything's on sale. If you have money, put it in there. And a lot of it's recovered mostly. There was a point where most of it all recovered and then it rebalanced. So yeah, absolutely. Um, take those opportunities, and I feel personally that it's going to happen again. Um, and then what we have is the A16Z back Solana staking protocol, 50 million invested. That's big. Like every time that there's a big company like A16Z investing in the protocol, makes you very bullish. Especially like Jito. Jito's well known for giving tips with your product with your orders. UK pushes into tokenized funds. There you go. They're going more to tokenization. Institutional skepticism, DeFi adoption still disappointing. Well, again, it only started. It's such a new thing. I don't know why people expect it to take off over like it's gone fast considering how it is. So I'm going to go through a couple different things that you could do you say to automate. So let me actually start with um, the one that I know that the juiciest one, and I'll let me grab this. So there's a tool that is in early private beta. Let me go back. There's a tool that it's in early private beta right now. So there we go. And it's actually related to the PFP that I have up on screen right now. We got, okay, good. We're up on the right screen. It's related to the PFP that I have up on screen right now. Let me connect my wallet. It's in like there's still some. See, I have to connect proper. There we go. It should connect properly. There we go. So I have a couple agents that I'm testing right. I have them off right now because I haven't been paying attention to them this morning. I usually, again, it's automated with this case, but I would still, watch the charts, um, you know, actually pay attention to them. Doo-doo. What is that? Where's the numbers? They're not showing the numbers. Um, it's weird. It's not showing the P&L. So this basically, I'll show you this tool. So this is called Stacker Agent, and it has a couple different skills that are in it. Right now, we're only private beta testing one. And if you did want to get involved in the private beta, let me find the right tab. This one here. Here it is. If you did want to get involved in the private beta for Stacker Agent, this is how you would do it. So there are a couple different assets and that's the way that we kind of do it. There's different assets that give you access to the private beta. And what they are is it's kind of a list. So just there's a couple different entry points, just so you know. What's it? A lot. Yeah, I mean, you could always jump into like have a Discord. You could time to focus. You could always jump in there and ask questions in there. Also, ask me on X, or I mean, you could always ask me during these streams. This is why I'm here. I'm here to see your questions, and if I have the answer, I will have 100% share it with you. But yeah, just shoot me a comment on something on X or jump into my Discord. Uh, or email me. Go here to jump in here and reply to email, and I'll see the emails. Just so you know. Okay, where was I doing? Okay, there we go. So there's a couple different things, but if you want to have access, I lost the tab again. Boo, 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 boo. Where are you? Where are you hiding from me? Is that it? There you go. Okay, so it says three, but there's really four ways to get into access right now. And again, it's a private beta, so there's still bugs in this, and that part of it, the reason why there's a beta is because we need to get data to improve the AI, and it already has. We've already been testing it for about a week and a half, and the results have been pretty crazy. Um, I could bring up some of them in a second as well. But if you want to do that, there's one called the Stacker Agent. You could grab that one. It has a pretty high floor price of like 100 Solana, so it's a pretty steep entry point. Then there's this collection here, which is Draft Tower. You can grab one of their OG ones, which is the white background, and I think that the price is backgrounds. That's a lower 33.6 Solana is what that entry price is. And then there's also one you could become a whale, which there's anything in this ecosystem. There's a whole list of things like there's a couple different collections. You can grab any of the 25 of that collection. Or they have this token called Draftfish. You can grab 10 million of those. They're just different entry points into this private beta. But once it's done, all you need to grab is one of these draft and 1,000 Gary and keep them in your wallet, not to spend, but just to keep them in your wallet. And that's how you get access. Oop, what did I do there? There you go. But you can see that people are actually buying this up because they want access. So the trading volume's been pretty good. People buying, floor's been going up. It's been nice. See? Hasn't been a couple days and the floor has doubled. So there's a reason why, because people are actually going into those things. Cool, cool. Um, all right, so let me go back over here. And so what you do is, I'm not going to create a new one right now, but I'm just going to show you the steps. So when you click here, it's actually going to give you a couple different trading strategies. And there's only one of them that's active right now, even though they're not grayed out. Mhm. And what you could do is you'd come here. It's mass extract is the only one that's working right now. Block zero is going to be where it kind of blind buys every single um, coin that will launch, and it will be block zero, so it actually buys even before the devs. So there's only 50 50 people that can use this because not everybody can do block zero, otherwise it wouldn't work. But some of them are going to rug, and the idea is that what you're risking is the transaction fee, which, so it's potentially, even if you get your transaction fee out plus a little, then it might be a good thing. Then there's scalp trading. If you don't know what scalping is, it'd be like you buy and you wait for it to go up a little bit, and then you sell. Buy. Swing traders are longer. And then lock in would be like, say you have a token that you believe in that has trading volume. You just lock in on that one token, and it will buy the buy the dips and sell the pumps. And there's it's everything's guaranteed on that. But again, these are not the ones that are being tested right now, just mass extract. Then we go to next, and you're going to bring up like your the settings that you want. So let me just make sure. Um, the settings that you want. Um, and the idea is this. So say you have something like, say you go to you see all these coins that are launching every day over at Pump Fun or wherever, whatever launch pad. I'm just showing you one, but like one of these launches, I mean, we could look at this one, Jason Muha, whatever. Okay, let's just click on it, whatever. It launched 5 minutes ago. Now the idea with mass extract would be like, okay, this didn't do it. So okay, this would not have qualified. Let's bring this over to my thing. So mass extract saying, okay, maybe I only want to even consider buying tokens that have hit a certain market cap. So like this one right here, it's up 19. What market cap did it hit? Hit 14. That's way too low. Because like a lot of these ones that are low, they might pump up, but then they graduate at like $100,000 market cap. Like this one's running a little bit, right? So okay, so how about this one? Here's a good example. So this hit 159,000.3 market cap. It's coming down a little bit, but maybe I said, so the dev, this could still very well rug. But what this will do, so I could say, I only want to buy um, once it hits 100, let's call it $110,000 market cap. Is that right? I think it's, what's going on here? I just gotta, um, there was just, this is kind of funny. I don't even know. Here, maybe I could bring it up on my screen real quick here. Just go to X. This is kind of topical. Perfect timing. They just post about this one right here. Maybe it was Gary. Yeah, like this is a good example. This is the tool that I'm showing you right now. We just had a Stacker agent hit 64.56% ROI to lock in. So they were trading with 0.892 Solana. That's all that that's all their position. And they put in that and they took out 1.472. So the point is that you have these tokens that you just have to put the settings in that you want. There you go. And so maybe 110, maybe now you say, okay, 110 is the reason. One thing I figured at 100,000 is that's a lot when it's bonding, it might fail the transaction. So then maybe you say, but I want to go to a range of 110 to 100 and 60. Now, if you don't know why this would be, like what I've done is I take a screenshot of this. I go over to preferably Stacker Agent GPT because it's connected, and I go and I drop that screenshot and say, "Hey, walk me through setting this up." Like something as simple. I'll just do it right now and just show you. Um, like this right here. So I'm going to fill this in maybe, so, and then I'll give it to Stacker Agent to see if it's going to give me some thoughts on it. So, okay. And again, if you get value from this, just share out this video. It really does help. And this is a really cool tool. It's just getting started. So, okay, we have the age, and that means like a token, for instance, we were showing you on Pump Fund. These are just brand new ones, like it's 32 minutes long. Look, it's already pumped. It's pumped up even more. I could have bought right there live with you, but again, I'm not. I want the automation. Um, but it pumped up, but it's going to correct. But the idea would have been like, so if I did this, it pumped up to 107, 100 and 209, about 210,000. So that would have hit, or it very likely would have hit because I said zero. It probably would have bought somewhere. It would have bought somewhere in this range, and then it still could have pumped up to $210,000 market cap, and still exited in profit, even if it bought at the top range of my market cap range. And so then I say, okay, I want something. I could give it a range, anything from um, 0 to 24 hours. So look at things that are 24 hours. Then you could say, okay, I want my take profit to be whatever you want to say. You could say 50% if you want. You could say 100%. That's not a guaranteed take profit, but that's like your target. It's in that range. And you say like, okay, what's my stop loss? Meaning that's what's the most I'm willing to lose. And let's call it 20%. Like I'm willing to lose 20% on a trade because on the upside, I'd be making 100% on the trade. Now, then you could say slippage, or not slippage, trailing stop loss trigger. And that would be for the take profit. And you could say most people we're still playing with this, but I've been doing 1 and 25 so the callback is as it's dipping, selling off. And then you could decide if you want like a trade cool down mode. Like here, he's like cool down. So maybe say, okay, maybe the market's crazy and I want to wait a little bit. You could say, I want to wait 90 seconds before I enter the next trade. You could say that if you want, whatever you want. You could leave it blank and it would just could just enter the next trade right after one's done. Or, I mean, if you max concurrent positions means how many positions are going to be open at the same time. So if you have, certain depends on what liquidity you have. I would probably do more than point 0.1, but like 0.15 to 0.25 per minimum. And the reason why is because part of this 100% profit that I'm aiming for is actually going to be eaten up by fees. Because you have things like slippage fees. There's a 30% possible slippage right there. And the reason why you need to do that is because you need to actually have it fill those positions. Then you can come here to priority fees, and this means that how much you're going to basically give a tip. Now, let's take a look at this, like 0.0007. If I went over and saw how much that is in Solana, that's 13 cents. So we've been playing around with the different settings just to like 0.05 is actually one that a lot of people have been playing around with, but you could see the difference in price just from that. That's like 13 cents versus a buck. Um, so you got to test these things and see which ones works best for you. But we'll leave that at 0.007 right now because that's the default. But yeah, so then what I would do is I would have this all set. Again, it's a fixed amount. It means that every single trade would go in at 0.25, and it would open up a trade somewhere in this range for a market cap. But now let's take a look at this one that we were just looking at again. So it's a dipping back down. See, what the idea is that it would have, let's see, where is the market? Like I said, 110. It probably would have bought some if it grabbed this token, it would have bought somewhere here, and the hope that it would actually be able to sell at the top, like, oh, that wicked, but that might have sold in the wick. But point is, I said to one, so maybe it would set buy at 110 over here, and then somewhere in this pump it would have sold, and I would have been able to secure a profit right there. Now, if you want to be more gambly, you could have probably bought in here and sold here. Um, but again, it's purely look, Deb bot, Deb. Ooh, look, a whole bunch of Deb bots right there. Deb is buying. They're trying to pump up the token's value again. Good for them. But so this particular one, like this would have been a good opportunity, but it would have found it for you, is my point. Hmm. Cool. So, and this is Stacker Agent. It is the mass extract feature, and this is really how you take it. So now I was going to say that I was going to take a screenshot, but boom, I was going to take a screenshot. So I come up, I have my little screenshot tool. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. I take a screenshot, and then what I do is again, AI. Come on, AI, you do it for us. So then I grab about this. I guess drag, help me fine tune my Stacker Agent mass extract settings. Please teach me how to set it up on my own without you. And then maybe like you could just tell it what you want. Like I have a medium to high risk tolerance. See what it's going to give you. Again, we're using AI. We're doing it the lazy way, the smart lazy way. Hmm. There you go. So now it's just going to teach you exactly what you want. So your goal to capture a quick 5 to 10 moving before they fade, understanding mass extract. It's just going to teach you. So again, this is why I like these tools because they're just going to teach you how to use them. AI is going to help you walk them through. Lucky for this one, we have a tool called the tool Stacker Agent has a Stacker Agent GPT, which will help you walk right through it. It's very helpful. Let's see all my notifications. But it's just going to walk you through. So recommended medium to high. So again, point zero, I said 0.25, but we can go a little higher if it's medium to high. Um, I got a text message. So the filter token by size, again, 80 to 200 max. Like, your current is 110 to good for good to mid risk, stable meme coin rotation. For more aggression, lower the minimum to 60. So the lower it goes, the lower the market cap that you have it set, the riskier it is because you're going to get things that are like rug pulls. Like this one, it seems like the dev is buying like crazy. So they're pushing it back up. They're trying to create momentum so other people buy and they're probably going to get a bunch of trading fees. And that's their goal. They're taking the trading fees and putting it back into buys. Um, there's all the people in the chat, but you get the point. So boom, boom. And next, you would just, when you're happy with it, you've chatted with your bot, aged, see, most 10 to 20 runs within the first 12 hours of launch, tighten up, if you want to be more, take profit, stop loss, exit when you hit a percentage gain. It's giving the example of the stop losses, conservative, moderate. And just go through this. This is like, it's gonna walk you through the settings. If you don't understand why, like ask questions about the settings. People are like, I don't know how to do this. Well, just ask. We have AI for this. It's like Google. And if you have any questions about what I'm talking about, just hit me up in the chat. Like, yeah, I can see everything on YouTube and X, and I'm going live to Instagram as well. And I'm actually going live twice to YouTube. It's kind of fun because I get to be vertical and horizontal with you guys. Just playing around with that. But okay, so this tool, yeah, it's a great tool. You hit here, it will give you the settings. When you're happy with it, you'd hit Publish Agent. And I'm not going to do it because I don't want to launch a new one, but it would give you an agent like this. Like here, there's a blank one right here that I have. And it's going to just start filling all these things: active, pending, recent P&L, trading history. And this is turned off at the moment, but you just fund your wallet here. And it's kind of cool. Like every single wallet that it creates, since it's part of like Gary Club, is which you just go to this tool by going to gary.club, but you'll need to get those early access tool to gain access. So again, that's one way that you can make passive income with DeFi right now. Like you're putting your money to work. And yes, you could sit here and find these runners. Like this is not recovering as well as they hoped, even with all the dev buys. Poor dev. Um, but maybe it will pump back up. I mean, heck, at this point, if there's another runner, I put 110, it could potentially detect it, say, oh, we detect a bunch of buy momentum. Okay, now it's at 110, and then it shoots back up, and maybe it buys this one a couple times. It's a great way to make passive income, and it's just in the early testing. So, okay, that's one really good way to really good way to make passive income with DeFi. Another way, and I've talked about this one a couple times, and this is I'm going to tie it into, because say you have this NFT, right? Or say you believe in this NFT project, which I'm bringing this up because this is, the ecosystem that I'm in. You could do it with other ones. I get it, but what you want is something that actually people value. There needs to be a reason that they value it. So I could go over to a platform like this, which is Sharky.fi, Sharkyfi, and I can go and do one of two things. I could say, maybe I have a whole bunch of these NFTs right here, right? And I need money to go and, take an opportunity, that a short-term opportunity. I'm going to go grab something, but I need the liquidity. So I can go over here and I could say I need to go to NFTs and I need to borrow, and I'm going to search for Giraffe Tower. There you go. I don't have one in this wallet that I have connected, right, or I don't have a wallet connected right now. But right there, I could get 1.56 Solana as a loan, and it's going to cost me um, interest of um, I guess I did do it in this wallet at one point. There's a little bit of interest. Um, but I could get a little tiny bit of interest from that. So it's 1.56, but I've calculated it's about 0.5% a day. So if you want, you can give them like a 7-day loan. You're going to make what is it? 3.5% on your on your Solana, but it's going to cost you 3.5% if you're borrowing. But if you go to lend, you can go to again, find the project that you're into. But I have a bunch of, like, I believe in this one, so I could take, so there's offers right now. See all these different offers, active offers, people offering up to 1.56 Solana. Um, there are active loans. There's people taking out loans right there, right there. So in this example, active loans, people are actually taking out loans against their draft. And so maybe they need to go take action on something. They believe the price is going to go up on something, and they don't have the liquidity. Those people, but you do. You have the liquidity. You take that Solana, you put it here, and you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to let anybody that wants to borrow this Solana do it, but it's going to cost them 0.5% a day. And you want to put it in a position where it's like, so I always look at offers. So I always want what I'm offering, what I'm giving, to be lower than the offer after all the fees. Uh, Meaning that if this person doesn't, so they give me their NFT, I give them 1.56 Solana. Now, if they don't follow through, and they don't follow through, and they don't give me back my Solana, what I get to do is I get to click a little button, and I get to take their Solana from them, and I get to put that Solana into I get to take that Solana, I get to put it into, or I get to take their NFT from them. They keep the Solana because they basically defaulted, and then really being strategic because you're going to be able to actually. There's very little as long as there's volume in a project, there is opportunity. Cool. All right. Let's see. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Yeah, out here, I wanted to show you a couple of different ways that I'm making passive income with DeFi. And again, it's all about passive income for me. I love passive income. And to that point, like you could always launch a coin at like look so there you go. It's crashing. But you could always launch a coin at Pump Fund. That's another way that you could create passive income. I've tested a couple. I had one that had a really good launch, Unblock, which I probably should have streamed on today, but I actually get a little trading volume from people being passive and trading my chart, and I make a little bit here and there, and that's just another stream of passive income. It's obviously very low at the moment, but it's like some of those charts they do really pop off. Cool. So, okay, but I didn't want to dive too deep into Pump Fund right now. I just wanted to mention that that is another way that you can make passive income with DeFi. It's obviously not like it causes bumps when people stream, and then when they stop streaming, it typically goes through a little bit of a crash. And when people are buying, you're getting a percentage of the fees when they buy, and you're getting a percentage of the fees when they sell. So there. Hmm. Cool, cool. All right. What else do I want to show you? I want to show you a couple things. Um, Actually, to that point, there is actually a contest going on. It's not like a, where is it? Mm, There it is. No, that's not it. This one. So Magic Eden is actually doing a contest right now, or a boost collection, season three boosted collection, and they give out some of their ME token, which is their Magic Eden token. If you buy and hold any of these collections that are boosted right now. And if you notice, like there's one that I was talking about right there, Draft Tower. So if you wanted to buy any of these, that's actually a way that you can make some. It's not necessarily passive income. In that case, I mean, you could you could go out and turn it into passive income somehow. Hey, did that offer just go up? No, it didn't. I'm crazy. Um, but you could take that, go buy one of these, and you'll earn some tokens. Again, that's not quote unquote passive income at the moment, but that is a way that you could earn some additional crypto. And, again, I'm telling you that I'm not giving financial advice, but I'm telling you that there's a tool that this is the key for. So a lot of people are buying it anyways. So even if you're not planning on keeping it, people are going to be collecting this just to have access to the tool. So you could buy it and sell it at a higher price when somebody else discovers what I'm telling you right now. They're gonna go like, oh, I wish I bought it when it was 2 SOL, but now it's 5 SOL. It was actually at close. Like we can look at the chart. Let me. Can I zoom out? I can't zoom out that much, can I? I can't go back. Oh wait, all time. There was a big pump here, and there was a big correction. Um, these were people that were speculating on that tool coming out a little bit longer to come out and they got impatient and they sold off, which is fine, which that means that it's just cheaper for people to come in when like in the that are actually that are coming in for that because now there's this big pump, boom boom, and dipped a little bit and now it's recovering, slowly starting to recover because people people are jumping in to actually get access to that tool. So this is kind of it was like a less organic pump, or where was it? It's a much less organic pump than it was before. So there we go. So again, I didn't want to dive too deep into that part as well, but that's an opportunity. Okay, now let's see. Okay, now the other thing I'm going to dive into another thing that's actually part of Gary Club and that draft. ecosystem. Just do this and da. Actually, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. 1 second. $509 worth. Hit confirm is what's in that wallet. There we go. Done. And it's going to refresh. And there you go. Now 500. I just claimed like 120, 130 bucks right there, or almost 140 bucks just from that one claim. And again, I'm claiming it in the token, not necessarily the. I'm not worried about the price. But now if I click this, still showing it, but now if I click this, it's actually going to show that it's already been claimed. I can't claim it again. And I can go to the next one. I just go down the line. Claim, claim. Let's see. It's going to give me 193 Solana. Or not Solana. I wish it was 193 Solana. I'd buy more Gary with it. Hit confirm. Uh, Hit OK. You can see, I remember I started with about $409 or $509, sorry. And now I'm up to almost 700. See, if I click here, now it shows zero. Here, I'm going to get another 517, hit claim. And the only reason that I have a whole bunch of them is just because I locked them up individually. You could technically just put them all in one and have one big claim. And just go down the list. Just go down this list. Confirm. Get a swig of coffee. And this is just one of many ways that you could actually be doing this. Like, there's a lot of different ways that you could be earning. Like, I'm not going to let me finish this first, but like Jupe also had like a thing where they were. I think this is already done. Um, Jupe had a thing where they had their DAO. They kind of haven't really been giving out, but they would give out tokens too. But they didn't really make it sustainable. But they have a staking mechanism as well. Make sure that I haven't missed any. See, I got to scroll. I got more. And we were at like, and again, like the token's down. It's been up more. So imagine this being I imagine this is going to be somewhat along the lines of like a $500 claim that I'm doing today, which is great. It's not like retirement amount, but I put that money to work. That's done. I put that money to work, and then I go and do the next one. Put the next one to work. There we go. Let's claim that. And that's the idea. Like, I like the fact that I could take my crypto, put it to work, and it can make me some money, because that's what it's all about. Like, oh, there we go. That's like 100,000 right there. Let's see. It's gonna pump up like 100 something dollars there. Doing it. There it goes. See, I told you it's gonna be close to do I have another thousand? What do I have 2,000? Oh, that's 10,000. Okay, that's better. There you go. Another. It's like, why do I have another 1,000 right there? Oh, that's 10,000. There we go. There we go. Okay. I think this one was that one's done. Oh, is this already done? I think I just did this one, right? Oh, no, I didn't. Did I do this one? Yeah, I did that one. There we go. That one's done. And I think I have one more here. And look at that. We were at what, $509 when we started, right? $509. We're at 514. So that was this, what, $505. This round $505 that I just claimed in Gary passively. Like I literally, I didn't have to do anything all month. I just locked it up, and I chose to lock it up for 6 months, so I got a heavier weight in. So it's a pool of the 100,000 that goes in, and again, that's going to be the same November and December. But after that, it's going to be dependent on the health of the network because this did create some sell pressure when not everybody like me is just going to hold on to it. So, so yeah, absolutely. Just this is a really great method. Now, because I'm me, let me. I have a set wallet that I do some of this stuff through too. So let's grab that stuff while we're at it. So see now I have another one. I got not as much in here obviously, but it's some. So I'm gonna hit claim and claim an extra 58. I got a little extra in here. What are you doing? You're not letting me lock. There we go. I see how to do it. There you go. It's gonna give me 58 and change right there. What's the difference there? What's the price? That one gave me like $7. Let's claim this one. Give me like $20 or something like that. It's free monies. There you go. It's like what, $18, $19. And there you go. I mean, I have a couple other ones that I could probably go through, but I'm not going to bore you, but you get the idea. Um, you get the idea. So that is another way that you can get passive income with DeFi through basically locking mechanisms. Uh, they're not, it's not staking because it's not validating the network. But what it does is it takes it off the market for a period of time, and then you get rewarded. Um, but again, this particular one is only going through this structure is only going through the end of the year, and then they're going to be restructuring stuff a little bit different in January, where it's going to depend on the trading volume of things like the Stacker agent, and a percentage of that is going to go to buybacks, and then those buybacks will be part of what the Gary Club company uses to help fund it. So again, none of that is 100% on that right now, but this is a method if you wanted to jump in and just do like the 1 month one or the 3 month one and benefit that way and grab your percentage. That is one thing that you could 100% do. Cool, cool. All right. Now, we went through a couple different things. We went through some news. I briefly mentioned that pump fund is an option to make passive income. You can make a little bit of income right now if you flip some draft just because they have their Magic Eden. Where is it? Magic Eden has their boosted collection promotion going on right now. So Draft Tower is on there. Also, these ones, Cyber Frogs, Stoned Ape Crew, Player 2, and DeGods are all there. So all great things to do. But hey, go grab a Draft Tower because you're going to have access to Stacker Agent plus 100,000 Gary as well. Okay, what else should I like to just go through all the different things that I've been kind of doing, like not all, but give you another really good way to get passive income with DeFi. And I think that this is something that people just don't understand fully is liquidity pools because that's how DeFi works. Like quite literally, that's how DeFi works. So you could always come here and find a token that you believe in, or even you could do Sol USDT, but or anything like that. Maybe it's not one that you believe in, but you could see like the percentages. Like um, there's trading fees that go into the actual cost, and then they're also giving some rewards in Radium. Uh, but there's different platforms. Radium's just one of them. Um, But look at this. If you just Sol USDT, you can get about 68% a year. Um, I don't know what USDU is, so I wouldn't really trust that. That seems there's not there's only $6 of liquidity. That seems fake to me. I avoid things like that. But if you want to be super stable and like conservative, you could even do something like this. Look, if you want to be like, okay, I just want my 4.8%, which I would probably do something else if that was the case, but you can get that very easily right here with USDC, USDT, which are both stable. So liquidity pools are a great way to do it. I could dive deeper. I've done some videos on this, like dedicated, but I just wanted to point out that is a great way for you to do it. You're basically being the middleman between two different people on each side. You're the middleman between the person that wants to trade Sol to USDT would be the example, and you get to become your business is being that person that agrees to trade. And because of things like Radium, which are automatic market makers, you're able to take this and just deposit and then go and do your own thing. You don't need to actually be a part of it manually. In the the fees just come in. The risk that you have is something called impermanent loss, which would be like, say you had Sol and USDT and Solana crashed, people would be selling their Solana and you'd be taking USDT and or sorry, yeah, it would be taking the USDT and or they'd be selling it and you'd be giving them the USDT and you take the Solana that might be going down in value, or vice versa. Maybe Solana's price is going up and they're buying all of your Solana from you with USDT and you end up with USDT even though the price has gone up. That's the risk. So you want to have like a range. So that's the idea. um, cool. A few more little things that I was going to go over. So another one that I was going over. I kind of went over this. I already claimed it earlier today, just wasn't much, but it's kind of simmered down. But play to earn games are another way that you can do this. You can get like this is one that I was playing around with, and I've for this one just I've basically just a little over broken even on what it cost me to play the game, and now it's kind of like profit. So the way I look at this one is like I played the game, I earned like when it launched. So you want to find a play to earn game. This one is addicted. It's kind of like make a weed farm, and if you want, you are welcome to join through my invite code at it's addicted.fun. You need an invite code in order to join. It's like the way that they do it. But look, I've made a whole 4.14 of these tokens from referrals. I'm going to be rich. That's but if you do need it, it's NXN22222. Feel free to use that code. You need one to join if you did want to join this game. But the point of this is that I've created, I've broken even on what it cost me to play the game, and now it's kind of like a little bit overpriced if you ask me when people come in new. But I just claimed this like right before, so you could see here. I just claimed it's not much, obviously. It's like 57 cents that I claimed. Not much at all, which is fine, but it's like it was what 14 weed tokens that I got. But now what I have is I have a paid for weed farm on in this game that I haven't even done anything with. I haven't put any money back into it. It's paid for itself, and now for the better part of whatever it's basically yielding me like $1 a day. Now I know you're like $1 a day is like whatever, but hey, you know what? It's $1 in this token. So now I can claim it, and I can go over here to I can go over here to trade, and like I could just go, oh, I want to sell my weed for Solana or for USDC or whatever I'm trading with. But you could see I could also trade it. I could have an asset that I could be like, oh look, it pumped up here. It's up here. I sold it. It dipped, and I could buy back in. One thing to keep in mind though is that this particular one they did do like a 2% trading fee, which is I think a bit steep. Should be like 0.1% or lower if you ask me for a good pool. But that's where they're trying to make money off of the pool. Uh, but it's free tokens that now I could take that token and I can sell it. I can trade it, but now it's a passive like drip that will keep on feeding. And when I'm ready, I just click this and it will give me the thing. And it's going to say, do you want to claim the 0.35093 weed, which is, it's going up. I'm probably going to claim it later just because you know, not going to sell it at the moment. But that's a way that you can make passive income. It's passive. It truly is. Now it's gone down, obviously, and it's coming out at a certain rate. And if I don't upgrade, I'm sure that rate's going to go down. But maybe this token takes off. Maybe it stays active. Maybe it becomes actually a good, like a reputable trading token. Like if I said I wanted one, what's it valued at right now in USD? Like, look, it's like basically 3.5 cents for every single one. So, you know, it's just feeding me all that stuff, and I could just take my 3 cents, which earlier it was more, so it could very well rebound. But if not, if it rebounds, I have a faucet that's giving me tokens that might be worth more. But if it doesn't rebound, then I just have a faucet that's giving me, $1 a day or whatever it ends up being. And it broke even. I've gotten my money back, and now I have a game that I could hit the button. I just need to go in there, hit the button, and claim my tokens and move on with my day. It's very easy. So again, I would say get into these things early, so you can get your money back, and then it just becomes a faucet for you to just kind of trickle in some additional liquidity. Why not? Look, like I claimed right before the stream, it's already almost back up to one. And again, if you do want, go grab from my code NXN22222. And if you're really thinking like, oh man, he's getting an affiliate for it. Well, look, I got 4.14, so it's what, you know, a quarter maybe. It's about a quarter. I'm rich. Um, but no, it's good. So, a couple more things I wanted to run by real quick. So, um, the other thing I wanted to show, and this isn't fully passive, but there's a lot of passive parts to it. Um, there's actually two parts to it. So, let me just show you right here. And this is one of the, I'm probably going to wrap it up after this just because, you've all had a, let me just give a new chat. Cool. All right. So, what I do here is I gotta have let me go back over to, I have a wallet here that I have a little bit of USDC in. Let me go to that one. There we go. So I have this. Oh, did not do it. Okay, so I have this wallet right here. All right. Now, refresh those. Let's say. So I have, for instance, I have this lending protocol right here. So this is called Jupiter Lend, and we're talking about making passive income. I think that lending crypto is a fantastic way to make consistent, stable passive income. Now on Jupiter, there's different ones. There's like there's another one that I like, Save Finance. But I've been finding that the yields on Jupiter are just about the same. So I just stick in that ecosystem. They do offer more things that you could lend out on on Save currently because Jupiter Lend is newer. But it's like I would just go wherever the higher percentage is personally. So let's go back over to that. So here, for instance, I could actually, wait, is that cheaper over here? USDS. Yeah, look at that. Over here, USDS is being lent out for 5.73. Over on Jupiter Lend, it's being lent out for 8.48%, which there you go. That is definitely a higher incentive. There's different look, the USDG is 8.51%. Euro C is 6.81. USDT currently is 6.15. Solana is currently 4.09. And then USDC, which is also a stable coin, is currently at 6%. And I've seen that fluctuate. It's at a low end right now, but I've seen it as high as like 14%. And just like around 6 is like the lowest I've seen. So if you're thinking that you can consistently get a yield of 6% a year up to 14% a year based off of like, I mean, like right now I have a little bit over $400 in this wallet, and it's giving me a projected yield of like 25 bucks um, in the year. And again, it does compound. It's not taking compound interest. But so say I wanted to easily withdraw, all I need to do is just click right here, say how much I want, there, and I'd hit withdraw, and I don't even know which wallet I'm connected with, but let me check actually. I'm connected with that one. There you go. Um, but that's all I would need to do to withdraw, right? So withdraw, it's back in my wallet and I have access to it. I'm no longer earning any yield on it, but it's just I take my funds and I just drop them in these wallets, in these USDC wallets, earning me a little bit of yield right here. And then when I need it, I say I'd pull the money out. And then I would go over to, you don't have to do it on, again, I'm showing you on Jupiter. You could do it on other platforms. It's fine. But you can go to perps and then I would go to something, you could switch it to, say I'm using, you could use Solana if you want, but I'm using USDC in this example. So say, okay, Solana is at like 187 right now, 188. You could also do a limit order. So what I do is I'll go here and I'm going to, these are the charts for Solana. Make sure it's all fresh. And I'm going to grab these images and then I'm going to go to this Stacker GPT. And I know it's not 100% passive, but you're going to get the idea. Hmm. So I'm just going, I'm grabbing the charts. There's a 1 minute chart I'm grabbing a 5 minute chart. I'm going to grab a 15-minute chart. And you could make these like wider swings, if that makes sense. Or this could also help you avoid making a trade when you should just not. So I like to give it at least up to an hour. There you go. So I gave it like the five charts, like 1, 5, 15, 30, and an hour. So then I just tell it, help me set up a perp trade on Solana. There you go. And I gave it the charts, updated, current. Stacker GPT also, it will access like Bird Eye API as well. But I'd rather have up-to-date charts, like up-to-date charts from the platform I'm actually trading on. So it's giving you some information. Read through this stuff. It's talking about the macro trends, so you understand macro basis, bearish to neutral because it's been kind of dipping. Look for a relief bounce before continuation. 1 to 50 mid frame. It's telling you like because that's the 4 to 1 day. 1 hour to 15-minute mid frame structure across Bollinger Bands. Price hugs lower Bollinger Band. This is dipping, volatility, compression, and possible squeeze setup. RSI 40 range, mid lower range. Not yet fully oversold. So meaning it's not gonna when it's oversold, it's gonna reverse, not fully there yet. More room for a small flush before reversal. Volume uptick in a recent candle after a long downtrend could indicate absorption of local to bottom forming. Play setup, trading limit long below 186 to 187, which it's like the price right now. Again, it's about 187 right now. 187. There we go. Trap limit long 186 to 20. And then 186.60 breakout long would be 190. So you could, if you don't get the answer that you need or like it's not clear enough what you need, just ask it. So these are the prices right here, depending on what I want. It's giving me how to place my order. So let's actually do that. Let me go back over here. I'm going to pull out $100 out of this wallet. Just withdraw. Get my pop up. It's going to burn my was it how does it say? It's Jupe USDC, but GI USDC to give you back my normal USDC. Boom. Now, just like that, pulled it out. And now I have less in this wallet. It's not earning me interest on that $100 anymore. But now, look, I got 100 USDC that is sitting there in that wallet. There we go. So it gives you a stacker score. This is actually something that another reason I use Stacker GPT for this. So your stacker score 70. I don't think like it's still good. Anything under like 70, I probably wouldn't mess with at the moment. But again, so now I can go over to this. So our plan was 85, 80, or sorry, 80, 86, 40. I mean, so now I just go here and I'm going to say, I'm going to do a long limit. Current price 88. See, it's already pumping back up a little bit, but the current price. So if I wanted to wait 86, 40, I'm going to do it with USDC. And now I'm going to do 100 USDC. And then you got to pick your leverage. Now, leverage, now let's take a look down here. You can see it very well. Now it says, so let's just go to a zero leverage, which I think actually ends up being like, there you go. It has to be 1.1. No, it has to be at least a little bit of leverage. Okay, so 1.1 leverage. If I did that, it would say that my entry price would be 86.40 and liquidation price would be $17.45. That would mean that Solana would have to dip to $17.45 before I lost everything. So with no leverage, it's relatively safe-ish. Again, not financial advice. Slippage, I have it set to max 2%. You could adjust it here if you want. Um, and then there's a borrow fee because it is zero point 0.1 in this case, and that's going to be 8 cents. Then there's normal an open fee of 6 cents and 56.59 cents, and then there's where is it at? And then there's the transaction fees, and then account rent, which you actually get back. But I like I like to do a little bit higher leverage personally. But look, so now I took that 100 and I have leverage, five right there, five leverage, 5x leverage. Um, and what that's now going to do is like Solana would have to dip to $149.62 for it to liquidate. Now the borrow fee is 35 cents. The open fee is actually 29 cents. Um, and price impact is a little higher. And so it will, there's a few more things, but your chance of actually benefiting from this is much higher. So now well, that's see, but if I did something like 20x leverage, which I would do this, but I have to sit here and watch. So now Solana would only have to dip $9 more for me beyond that to be liquidated, mean I lose it all. I mean, you could look at like 10x leverage. It would have to dip to 168.26. So now that's a little bit less likely, but it's still possible. Like Solana was sitting at 207 the other day, and now it's sitting closer, like $20 cheaper. So to say that it's not going to dip is, you know, not necessarily a fact. So if you wanted to go to like 9x leverage, you could see what you feel comfortable with. But let's just do 5x leverage right now, because that's going to still give me 5x the amount that I could potentially get. And now I'm going to just, it's a limit order. So it's not going to place the order right away. I'm just going to hit this. It's going to give me a pop-up. This is the rent right here, the little bit of Solana. Take that right there. And now I have an open order right here. It's set. If you want to adjust your trigger price, you could quickly do it right here, adjust it. Um, and then once the order fills, so the price dips, you're going to be able to actually go and place a stop loss and a take profit. If you decided, and now I'm going to buy right now at the current price of 189, which you can, but it's up to you. But I don't want to catch a falling dagger. Is my point. Um, it's like 86, so this would have to dip a little bit more to like here before my order filled. Which, if you look back here, it was well in that range earlier, but not too long ago. Like, these days. Those are hours here. It's actually on its way up right there in the minutes. But if you go down here, not too long ago, there you go. And if I need to adjust, I can. But now it's pumping. You know, we had the Bollinger Band with that was right about in that range. So if I want to adjust it, I can. But if I did a take profit, I could put my take profit and stop loss right here. But otherwise, I have to wait until the order fills. Cool. But this is one way that I could do it. And then what happens is it fills, and then I have to be there waiting to hit the either take profit, put that in, or I could always just hit it manually. So cool. These are a whole bunch of fun ways that that we can make passive income, and there's so many opportunities in DeFi. Know why more people don't realize how easy it is. And again, there's always a like one thing that I think people forget about is that they need to spend the money. So I always use the Cash card, which is at mydeficard.com, and I just take USDC. And when I earn it from something like Perps or Stacker Agent or something, I'll take that USDC, drop it over here into my Cash Card wallet, and then I just take my phone and I just tap it. And you could also order a physical card if you want, but it's a great tool. Like it's a great way for you to spend your crypto. Just no joke. I really love it. Um, and then again, if you do get value and you want to learn more about how I'm making passive income with DeFi, go to defiearner.com and I will send you my 7 simple steps to turn crypto into daily passive income. I showed you several of them today already. So just go and grab that.